Heyo everybody, Haku here with my review for Mahotsuka no Yome or the Ancient Magus' Bride, episode 14. This was actually a really emotional episode, well made as usual, but what I was thinking of before recording this and all, I was thinking that this show, for the entire time it's felt like, and I've kind of brought this up before in roundabout ways, but it's felt like it's really well made, really good production quality, and the story is pretty good too, but it lacks that special spark of something where you're like, okay, this is really new, this is creative. I guess that spark of like, it feels like real heart and grit was put into making it and stuff. And like you see that each season with a couple of shows, like last season, fall, when this began airing, you could feel that spark of creativity in and how much work was put in and all that for Hoseki no Kuni especially, and also Children of the Whales and Shoujo Shumatsu Ryoko. But this show just, it's like, it feels hollow in a way. It's like really good, but it feels hollow. It doesn't feel like there is that creative I guess heart put into it. It just doesn't feel like it has that behind it. It has kept me from connecting with this. While I think it's good, like I think most everything I watch is good, I try to look for the good in things, it hasn't, to me, it hasn't connected with me, really. There have been small glimpses with it, like with the first Nevin episode. I think it was episode 3 of the show. Might have even been, I think it was episode 3, not episode 2. Early on in the show, that episode had it, but in general, it feels a little soulless. But either way, let's talk about it. Going back to the second opening, since we got to see it at the beginning of this episode for the second time, I do still think I like it better than the first opening. It's really difficult to judge, though, mostly because both of them are kind of at the same level. No one or the other really stands that much above or below the other. They're about the same in quality. The song is good for both. The animation is below average. It's basically for both of them. I keep seeing in the comments people complaining about the second opening, saying, oh, it's just a slideshow of scenes from the show. The first opening was pretty much just that, except for the first part, and the first part was just flashes of Chisei and Elias with a black background, so it was super boring and low effort. So I think that this one's better, but I don't know, it's hard to judge. I can see the argument either way. They're both just pretty below average. So at the beginning, Chisei, as her fox version, runs off into the forest. She talks to Ruth there. I thought that this was all pretty good. Not sure how I feel about it, though. It's, again, one of those weird things. Like, I like the scene, and I like... The part that I'm not sure about is that Elias is like, oh, you need to come back because I need you. And Chisei says, oh yeah, I need to go back because Elias needs me, but it feels like if she wanted to be free, then him needing her, it just seems like a parasitic or sort of like, I don't want to say abusive, parasitic or manipulative relationship. I really don't like the relationship between them. But basically when she wakes up the next morning, she tells Ruth to stop her, even if she wants to go. And again, I just don't know how I feel about that. But the Lianen Seed, the love fairy, shows up and asks Chisei to save Joel. So she runs off with Ruth to go save him. And I always like these moments of Chisei breaking out and getting to be independent and do something on her own. And I feel like if Elias didn't involve himself at all and Chisei just went off and took the initiative and did this on her own, it would have been a better episode overall. But either way, yeah, I guess I feel like Elias holds the series back a little. But yeah, Joel, I guess not, but he looked, from the last episode he was in to this episode, it looked like he had aged a lot in just a few episodes. But Elias was kind of an asshole to the love fairy and to Joel. So yeah, again, I think that my issue might be with Elias. I think I don't like him as a character. But either way, he tells the guy he has a week left, but the guy is content. He said he's lived the life. Everybody's scared to death, but he's lived what he could. His wife died young, and he took care of her garden to keep himself going. And seeing the red-eyed woman in the garden is what kept his life afloat, basically. But Chisei wants to create this salve to put on his eyes to allow him to see fairies, to give him his one last chance to meet the Lianan Seed. And Elias brings it up to her. He's like, you really shouldn't, both because of your body and its condition and because of the rules, but if it's what you want to do, I'm going to let you do it. So Joel, we find out when he's alone, we can see that he's scared. Chisei then keeps the spell up for 5 days. Again, great character work, showing her perseverance and her will to get this all done. Oberon notices what she's doing. She finally passes out, but she did just barely make it in time. So Joel says that when he finally does get to see the Lianan Seed, he says that she gave him the push he needed to keep going. And that he's not afraid because he isn't going to be alone. He's going to have her to wait for. He's going to have his wife to go see again. Then Chisei, through all this, she finally breaks. She feels sad at what she's lost and all that. And it's sort of a bittersweet thing for her. And I think, again, good work for Chisei's character, seeing her finally cry and show more emotion. We've kind of seen it before, but I like the slow build on Chisei's character, how she slowly becomes more independent, how she slowly begins to feel more comfortable showing her emotions. I think that the slow build on Chisei's character is really good. Oberon shows up at the very end, asks for the rest of the ointment, and Chisei's ring breaks, just completely shatters, and she coughs up blood. And we're left with that cliffhanger. And I thought it was pretty good. I thought the episode was really good. I thought it looked really nice. It was really, really emotional, like super emotionally involved. I also love the one lyrical OST piece they used, just because I am a sucker for lyrical OST. I think that tracks used backing with lyrics are just so much more emotional to me. But yeah, I'm loving Chisei's development, and I'm starting to realize that I just can't get over not liking Elias as a character. I've tried to start liking him, tried to get around not liking him, but I feel like that's just a wall that keeps me from really enjoying this series to the fullest, because, I don't know, I think his relationship with Chisei holds the series back a ton, and I think his character, and it's a shame because he has such an awesome character design, I absolutely love the design, but his character and the role he plays in the story is just so off base when it feels like it could have been easy to get right and they got it wrong somehow or another. It seems like he could have been a great mentor character that was really super easy to love, or if they built him right as a romantic interest, he could have been a really good romantic interest, but it seems like he's kind of nowhere right now. Occasionally they'll push a romantic sort of feeling between him and Chisei with some scenes. Occasionally they'll push the aspect of him being her mentor in some scenes. But overall, their relationship, when not sort of creepy and manipulative, it just seems like it's nowhere. So yeah, I think that is, again, I say every episode, that's the biggest issue I have. And also, I realized when writing my review notes, I was so focused on everything going on with the Lianan Seed and how that story was and how emotional it was and it affected me. And then I remembered, I was like, oh wait, so the whole first part with the Ashen Eye and the fox cloak and stuff, they just kind of skimmed over that super quickly and it didn't really do much of anything for the story at all. So I was like, oh, the first part of the episode was kind of pointless. Yeah, and also, even with the Lianan Seed stuff, even though it did hit me hard, even though it was emotional, it was really cliche. I could definitely feel that. So, I don't know. I'm still going to give it kind of a high score, because I think it was good. I don't know. I'm not really into this show that much. I don't know what it is. I keep trying, and occasionally I am really into it, because it has a great concept. The the OVA was incredible, and it set up this world that was just so good. And the world that this is set in is really, really cool and unique, but the story they're telling just continues to fail in some ways. But as a score, I'm still going to give it 8 pushes out of 10. I don't know. I feel like it's good, but I'm not connecting with it. either way, that's it, I guess. Like if you did like the video, comment on there. Tell me what you thought of this week's episode, what you thought of my thoughts on it. Subscribe for more. Motsukai Niome, much more on the channel. And before I end this video, actually, I'm going to be reviewing 2 or 3 anime week to week this season. Just because I'm going to do 2 or 3. Normally, I did more last season, but I feel like since I'm going to keep reviewing this week to week, and since I'm going to review The Walking Dead when it gets back and all that, I'm going to limit myself to 2 or 3 this season. But out of those 2 or 3, I've actually wrote them down, actually. That's good. But I have 6 options that I'm thinking about. I already put it in Discord and on Twitter. So give me your thoughts if you want to see me review Violet Evergarden, Kokoku, Citrus, Sorayori Motoi Basho, Hakata Tonkotsu Ramens, or Mitsuboshi Colors. Any of those 6, they're kind of like the ones I narrowed it down to that I would be the most cool with reviewing weekly. Yeah, just give me your thoughts on any of those 6, which 2 or 3, if any, you would prefer me to cover. But that's it. Like, comment, subscribe, follow on Twitter if you want. I'll try to keep you updated there and stuff for the channel. If you want a link to our Discord server, just ask and I'll give you one. That's it. Thank you once again for watching. I'll see you all next time.